Hello, 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 hello. Good evening and welcome to the live stream session today as we continue with our discussion for the ICAG March 2026 examination. On the stream today, we're going to be getting excited to share our thoughts on a few learning tips and strategies that you must understand to put yourself in the position to go into the exam or and pass the examination. I'm going to give you blueprint on what the examiner is expecting you to look at, how you must study various subjects and topics so that you can put yourself in the right position to go into the exam or and pass the examination. I'm also going to be taking the opportunity to answer any questions that you may be having. So if there are any questions you have, something you want me to share my thought on, you can put them in the comment section or the chat for me, and I'm going to be answering all your questions to help you so that you can really understand and put yourself in the position to pass the examination. Remember that we have started lectures. We started our live lectures for the March 2026 examination yesterday with public sector accounting and finance, and it's continuing throughout. So if you have not registered yet, you can send us a message on WhatsApp and register the number on your screen 050-114-9296, or head on to our website and complete your enrollment today. I think there is still an offer of a little discount still available. So if you have not registered yet, you can send us a message and redeem, get some discounts to help you to complete your enrollment. Now, as we have started the journey for the March 2026 examination, we have spent some time to look at various things in respect of the exam as a whole. We've considered the issues in respect of how you can study, preparing your study plan, syllabus structure, and the various strategies that you must understand. We've shared some thoughts in respect of that. So what I want to do today is to give you the core guiding principles on the key issues you must understand in specific subjects, the areas that you have to focus on. Because yes, for whatever subject you are writing, there are some thematic issues that you must understand to put you in the position so you can go to the exam or and pass the examination. And that is exactly what we are going to be trying to do this evening, to provide you those thematic topics, areas, issues, concepts that you must understand in respect of whatever subject you are writing, so that this can position you, then you can go into the exam or write the exam with confidence and pass the examination. Again, if there are any questions, please don't hesitate, put it in the comments or the chat for me, and I'm going to be providing you with some answers. So let me bring up my screen and let's get excited into the discussion today. So the ICAG examination is an examination that is an interesting one at that, at the end of the day. And so it depends on the subject you are writing and then the key issues that you have to focus on to put yourself in the position to pass the examination. Now, one of the questions that I get a lot and people continue to ask me is about, hey, Nhyira, what are the key issues, key areas that I need to focus on to pass the examination? Now, as I say always, there is nothing like, oh, Charlie, just look at these topics and you can pass the exam. No, because the examiner is going to be spreading the questions across board. However, each topic or each subject has some fundamental pillars that if you understand, then it becomes everything else in that subject will be easier for you. What it then means is that once you get your fundamentals well, then the rest of the topics, the rest of the syllabus will be easy for you to understand, and you can then go into the exam or write the exam with confidence and pass the examination. So what are those key pillars holding the various subjects in the ICAG that you have to really focus on to increase your chances of passing the examination? Let me hear from you. Let me know the subject you are writing. I may not be able to cover all the subjects, but let me know the subject you are writing, maybe in the comment section or the chat box. And then I will give you some strategies on the various things that you have to focus on in respect of the subject that you are writing, because I'm going to try to see if I can do as many subjects as possible as we continue with the discussion today. Let me go into public sector accounting and finance. This is level 2 paper. And there are a couple of things that you need to understand when it comes to public sector. Permit me to show you this quickly. For privacy purposes, I'm going to the back end, so hold on for me. Let me pull this up. Okay, I'm almost there. Give me a sec. For privacy purposes, gotta make sure I'm not sharing something that I don't want to share on the stream. So just give me a moment. Almost done. Okay, there we go. Okay, bringing back my screen. So when it comes to the public sector accounting and finance examination, the first thing you must understand is the syllabus and then the questions. So for March 2026 examination, this is our roadmap. This is the exam roadmap, the various things that you have to be mindful of. Now, we need to know the end from the beginning, then we need to know the key areas that we have to focus on. And we are going to be getting into this in a moment as we proceed in the discussion. Question 1 in the examination for public sector is going to be preparation of the financial statement. And when it comes to the preparation of the financial statement, this is a 20 marks area. The examiner can come from preparation of the financial statement for the central government, which is on the consolidated fund, or preparation of financial statement for other covered entities, a ministry, a department, an agency, a metropolitan, municipal, or district assembly, or a public school, a public hospital, a public transport entity, or others. So yes, that is question 1 for us when it comes to public sector accounting and finance. Question 2 is going to be on the International Public Sector Accounting Standards, the IPSAS. This is why we recommend that you take public sector and financial reporting together, because the accounting standards and then evaluation of financial statements, some of the things are very similar with just a little separation from what is in public sector. But question 2 is going to be on the International Public Sector Accounting Standards, dedicated 20 marks question waiting for us in the exam hall. And this is about the application of specific accounting standards for the public sector. That is question number 2. Then we go to question number 3, and this is going to be on evaluation of financial performance, because it is important we assess the financial performance, position, and condition of the central government of covered entities. So here also, the examiner can come for us from any type of entity in question. It could be a covered entity, it could be the central government. It all depends on the discretion of the examiner. But there are 3 things you must understand here. One of them will be in the exam hall. In question 3, public sector, either the examiner will ask you to do common size analysis or ratio analysis, which is where you're going to be calculating a lot of ratios and then interpreting those ratios, and then the budget variance analysis. One of these 3 will be in the exam hall for the question 3, public sector accounting and finance. Then you come to question 4. This is going to be the public financial management. Here it is divided into 2. Budgeting will be 10 marks, and then PFA will also be another 10 marks area that the examiner is going to be asking you in the exam hall that you have to be mindful of. So for 20 marks, 10 marks will be on the PFA, the other 10 marks will be on the PFM, that is a public financial management cycle, and budgeting 10. Then we come to question number 5. Question number 5 is the regulatory framework, the B aspect of your syllabus, and then the governance, the E aspect of your syllabus. That is also 20 marks, 10 from the governance area, 10 from the regulatory framework area. So when it comes to public sector accounting and finance, for the March 2026 examination, these are the things that we need to be mindful of, and these are the things that the examiner will be getting excited about. And this is, again, the breakdown of the syllabus and the various things you must understand when it comes to public sector accounting and finance. The question then is, what are the things you have to focus on? What are the things which, when you get right, the whole public sector syllabus and the examination will be easier for you? Yes, we have preparation of financial statement. We have the IPSAS. We have evaluation of financial statement. We have PIFA. We have the budgeting issue. We have the governance issue. What exactly are the things that you have to pay attention to optimize your chances of understanding public sector very well, and most importantly, putting yourself in the position so you can pass the examination? What do you have to understand? And that is where I want to start my discussion from. Number 1 is this topic called revenue management and expenditure control. Revenue management and expenditure control. This is a core topic here. The reason why this is a core topic, now, you will not see this in your syllabus, but it is a topic you must understand as a public sector accounting and finance student. Why? Because under the discussion for revenue management and expenditure control, you will understand sources of revenue. You will understand sources of revenue to the central government, the local government, that is Metropolitan Municipal District Assembly, and then other covered entities. This is very important because classification of revenues, items, and how they are recognized will be important here. So, sources of revenue. Not only that, that topic would tell us the issues in respect of the expenditures. Again, classification of expenditures is crucial. We have compensation of employees, goods and services, social benefit, interest on debt. Then we have transfers, donations, and others can all be captured under the expenditures. All right? That is an area that you must understand. Now, here is the trick. When you're doing the issue in respect of revenue management and expenditure control, aside looking at what are the sources of revenue, what are the expenditures, you are then going to bring yourself into accounting basis. Okay, accounting basis. And you know the accounting basis, right? The cash basis of accounting, accrual basis of accounting, modified cash basis, modified accrual basis of accounting. Because it is the accounting basis that they are using that will influence us on how we will recognize revenue items and expenditure items. So accounting basis then becomes the bedrock. Again, as you are doing all of those things, you would then get yourself into what we call the accounting techniques. The methodologies used in the preparation and presentation of financial statement. Then the accounting techniques are what you know as vote accounting, commitment accounting, vote accounting, commitment accounting, environmental accounting. Okay, environmental accounting. And then there is one more, vote, commitment, environmental. There is one more. Don't worry, I will add it up later. And that is also important because when it comes to the way the methodologies or techniques used in the preparation of financial statements, we're going to be using the accounting techniques. When it comes to how revenue and expenditure is recognized, you will use the accounting basis. So when you are doing the topic revenue management and expenditure control, you are going to come into this place naturally if you understand what you are doing very well. And that is very important there for you in that case. So that is a key issue that you must understand. Revenue management and expenditure control. Now, there are other skirmishes there that you must understand, like issues in respect of the control mechanisms that government put in place in respect of how they control expenditure, how they control, how do we call it? Measures they put in place to control the revenue that they are generating. All of those things will be part of revenue management and expenditure control. But thematically, to optimize our chances of passing the public sector accounting and finance examination, you must know the sources of revenue to the central government, to the local government, and to other covered entities. You must understand the expenditures. You must know the accounting basis. You must know the accounting techniques. This is going to set you up in the public sector accounting and finance syllabus as a whole, because this will help you in the preparation of the financial statement, 20 marks. It will help you in evaluation of financial statement, 20 marks. It will also feed into the issue in respect of even the IPSAS, because naturally IPSAS is going to be gliding into it about how certain things must be recognized, question 2. Then even PIFA. Some of these things are going to be featuring in the PIFA at the end of the day, because in PIFA, we are going to be evaluating the efficiency and effectiveness of the public financial management systems that government has implemented. And when you are doing that, revenue generation, expenditure control, and all of those things could be part of the discussion. So that is the first thematic issue you must understand as a public sector accounting and finance student if you want to pass the examination. Just in line with that, you go to number 2, and this is going to be the International Public Sector Accounting Standards, the IPSAS. Now, about 40% of the questions in the exam hall will be based on the accounting standards. Yes, you are going to have dedicated IPSAS questions, maybe 2 IPSAS or 3 IPSAS, depending on how excited the examiner is for the question 2. Now, the question 1, which is the preparation of financial statement, the footnotes that will be provided, you will account for them in accordance with the applicable IPSAS. What does that mean? It means as a public sector accounting and finance student, you must be strong in the accounting standards, the IPSAS. And there are a lot of the IPSAS that you must know about. When it comes to the revenue environment, you are going to be talking about IPSAS 23, revenue from non-exchange transaction. IPSAS 9, revenue from exchange transaction. IPSAS 11, construction contract. Please note these 3 are going to be off from next year, because from next year, we're going to have IPSAS 48, and that is the new revenues IPSAS in the public sector, and it's actually merging the 3. And it will be effective from next year. Okay, that is 1st January 2026. That is where IPSAS 46 will be effective. So going into the future, you must understand that IPSAS 23, IPSAS 9, IPSAS 11 are being replaced by IPSAS 48. But those are revenue standards that you must be mindful of. Then it comes to IPSAS 16, that is investment property. IPSAS 17, that is property, plant, and equipment. IPSAS 12, inventories. IPSAS 19, provisions. Okay, IPSAS, yeah. So quite a tall list. You must understand the IPSAS. Why? There will be a dedicated question on the IPSAS. Then you will also be required in the footnotes when you are preparing the financial statement, question 1, to deal with the IPSAS. That is the deal here. So it means that this is not the public sector accounting and finance, somebody has told you before of in 2013, in 2015, in 2016. No. In 2018. No. This is 2025, 2026 public sector. So it means you must be strong in the IPSAS. Now, if you have enrolled in our course, All the IPSAs have been covered and available under our key summary videos. Yes, during the live lectures, we're going to be covering as many as we can, depending on the time available. But the contents are available for you to get access to in the mobile application as well as on our website. But you need to be strong on the IPSAs if you want to pass the Public Sector Accounting and Finance examination. And this is what I refer to as the IPSAs Masterclass. The IPSAs Masterclass. If you can be strong in the IPSAs, guess what? You will be good. You will be good. That is one thing you must understand. But that is the second key area you must understand if you want to pass Public Sector Accounting and Finance. Number 3 area that you got to be mindful of is Public Financial Management Act 2016 Act 921. This act, there are a lot of things in the act that you are going to see in the exam hall. So, as part of your document that you are going to be using in studying, you must download this act. Because in this act, you are going to be seeing a key topic about budgeting, which is 10 marks coming to you in the exam hall, the procedures, the stages of budgeting. You're also going to be learning about the role of key public officers. Those of you in the public sector class, we have discussed that. We started with that yesterday, if you remember, the role of key public officers. Give me a sec. My slide is loading up again. Let me see if I can open it up. Yeah, in existing document. So we spoke about the role of key public officers. Right? The Minister of Finance, what the Minister of Finance does. The Controller Accountant General, what the Controller Accountant General does. The Auditor General, who is the watchdog. Then Parliament, who plays the oversight responsibility. Okay? And those things, right? So those things are all going to be discussed in some way, shape, or form in the Public Financial Management Act. So as a public sector accounting and finance student, one primary document of reference that will play a key role in your ability to pass the public sector examination is this act. You can simply download it. It's a free document. Just put in Google, Public Financial Management Act 2016 at 921. Click on it and download it. That will become part of your material or the material that you're going to be referring to when it comes to public sector accounting and finance. So to pass public sector, yes, there are 5 questions that we must know about. Preparation of financial statement, IPSAS, evaluation of financial statement. Then we come to issues in respect of PIFA and then budgeting. Then we come to governance and regulatory framework. But the things that will help you to excel in the public sector examination will be the topic revenue management and expenditure control with a breakdown that has been given. And then understanding the IPSAS. Then number 3, the Public Financial Management Act. Listen, if you can get yourself into the position where you really understand everything under revenue management and expenditure control, you really have a strong grasp of the IPSAS, that is International Public Sector Accounting Standards. You really familiarize yourself with a lot of the things in the Public Financial Management Act 2016 at 921 that will relate or that relates to the public sector examination and the public sector syllabus. Listen, you will go to the exam hall and pass the public sector examination. So that is the first subject that we want to look at, public sector accounting and finance, and what you must do to pass public sector accounting and finance. Again, I see some of you guys joining. You are welcome. We are looking at strategies, key issues to focus on to optimize our chances in passing specific subjects. And so give us a thumbs up on the video if you are getting some value. Also share the video, repost, retweet, share it. Let's get as many students as possible, help people across the country, across the continent, prepare well and understand and excel in life. But most importantly, let me hear from you in the comment section. If you have any questions for me, something you want to share, you want me to share my thought on, please don't hesitate. Put it in the comment section or the chat for me, and I'll be excited to provide you with some answers. Then we come to financial reporting. Also a level 2 paper, paper 2.1. In financial reporting also, we have the 5 questions that you know about already, right? Question 1 is going to be on consolidated financial statement. Question 2 is on the IFRSs. So we'll have 20 marks question on the IFRSs. Question 3 is going to be on the single entity financial statement. Also 20 marks. Now, that is either you are going to prepare a cash flow statement or the profit or loss and statement of financial position. So either one of them, okay, will be in the exam hall. Either you will prepare the cash flow statement or you'll be required to prepare the statement of profit or loss and statement of financial position. But that is what you must understand there. That's question 3. Then question 4 is going to be on the evaluation of financial statement. All right. Then question 5 will be the theory areas. The theory or written areas. This is where we are talking about ethics, integrated reporting, IT, corporate governance. Yes, in financial reporting, we have corporate governance. So all the theory areas will be in question 5, and that is 20 marks. So when it comes to financial reporting also, this is what we have here. Now, the question is, how do you excel in financial reporting? What is it that when you do right, financial reporting, you can pass it easily? What is it that if you get right, you can then walk into the exam hall and get the financial reporting easily? What is it must you do? Simple. The key issue when it comes to financial reporting that you must nail in order to pass the financial reporting examination is the accounting standards. That's all. The accounting standards. Why is this important? It's important because the accounting standards will be featured in question 2, 20 marks. The accounting standards will be featured in question 3, 20 marks. The accounting standards will be featured in question 1, consolidated financial statement. The accounting standards will be featured in question 4, evaluation of financial statement. Because sometimes when it comes to the evaluation of financial statement, there are structure or types of questions where the examiner will ask you to adjust the financial statement with footnotes, calculate ratios, then you write the interpretation. Then the question 5 theory area, we can have a dedicated 5 marks or 3 marks question on an accounting standard. It tells you that when it comes to the financial reporting examination, the accounting standard is going to take about 70 to 80% of the questions. In other words, you cannot do 70 to 80% of the things you're going to be seeing in financial reporting if you are not strong in your accounting standards. That is the secret here. So you want to pass financial reporting, you need to be strong in the accounting standards. And so this is where some people begin to have some issues. And there are people who are like, oh, Nhyira, the accounting standards, there are a lot of them. What am I supposed to do? No. The accounting standards are not a lot. You just have to understand the way they are and the way they are connected basically, and you will be good at the end of the day. So let's look at the categorization of the accounting standards. The first categorization is what we call the non-current assets standards. Whether you like it or not, In the financial reporting examination, you will be referring to 2 or 3 or 4 of the non-current asset accounting standards. That's the first categorization. So what are these standards? These standards include the following. The grandpapa, IAS 16, property, plant, and equipment. His brother, IAS 40, investment property. Their partner, which is IFRS 15, IFRS 5 rather, revenue management, no, non-current asset held for sale and discontinued operation. IAS 20, government grant. IAS 23, borrowing cost. Whether you like it or not as a financial reporting student, you will call on 2 of these standards at least in your financial reporting examination that you are going to write. Because that question 2 area, or the question 3, the single entity financial statement area, you will have to call on one of these guys. Whether you like it or not, it's going to be there for you. So that is the first categorization, the non-current asset accounting standards. Now, technically, I could add some other accounting standards to that if I want to. But I'm going to put that in the second categorization, which is what we refer to as. So for instance, let me show you something real quick. Let me show you something real quick on our website. So we have the practice question courses for financial reporting, right? So if you're writing financial reporting, we have the practice question courses for financial reporting and corporate reporting. And this is a course where we are just solving questions. These are questions with answers, video questions with answers that we have available. And if you enroll in our regular course, you get a significant discount to be able to get access to this as well to help you to study. Now, the reason I'm bringing you to this is because I want to show you the way we categorize the accounting standards. And that's the same way you want to also learn the accounting standards to optimize your chances of passing the examination. So, for instance, we have the first categorization called the framework for non-financial assets and obligation. So this is where you are going to see the IAS 16s, the 40, the IAS 20s, the 23, IAS 37 provisions. All those are found in that first category. And you can see there are 20 videos there as of today. And these are all questions, past questions and practice questions coming in from ACCA, ICA, SEMA, Icag, carefully selected to cover these standards. And so the way you are going to be learning this accounting standard is you need to understand the principles. And so that is why our key summary videos in the mobile application is going to help you so that you use the key summary videos to understand the principles. Once you understand the principles, now you have to expose yourself to questions. Then you come to the practice question courses. Whatever standard you have learned, when you come there are certain things there you must understand. The second category is the core IFRS standards, and that is the three-party relationship, which is which is IFRS 16, leases, okay, IFRS 15, revenue from contract with customers, and then IAS 32, financial instrument presentation, and IFRS 9, financial instrument measurement and recognition. Then IFRS 7, financial instrument disclosure. So these three standards also work together. Now, what am I saying? Don't look at the accounting standards as independent. They are actually connected with each other. And that is how our live lectures are going to be, where we are looking at the standards in the way they are connected with each other. And that's why we have the same breakdown available in the practice question course. Then there are two standards that are crucial. We call them the synergy standards for financial reporting, and that is IAS 12 and IAS 21. Now, if you're a financial reporting student, whether I like it or not, you will use IAS 12, income tax. So it is one of the standards you must understand. And per our categorization, we put it, the IAS 21 and IAS 12, under what we term as the synergy of financial reporting, because these are crucial standards and they are connected with other standards. IAS 21 has a relationship with IAS 16, IAS 40, IAS 2, okay, and various other accounting standards. Same thing happens to IAS 12. There are tax implications on IAS 16, IAS 40, IAS 2, and various other things. So these two standards are not just on their own. So you cannot just say, oh, I have learned everything about IAS 12 and I understand it. No. Do you understand IAS 12 and its connection with IAS 16 when an entity revalue assets? Then the corporate reporting students, do you understand IAS 12 when an entity undertakes a share-based payment transaction? You must understand that. That's very important in that regard. So that is the synergy standards that you must know about. Then you come to, now because I'm in financial reporting, corporate reporting student, you have the same ideas coming in. Single entity financial statement, we have videos there. Evaluation of financial statement, we have videos there. So don't look at the accounting standards as individual standards on their own. Look at them in the way they are connected with each other. So in putting everything together, if we pick a standard like IAS 16, property, plant, and equipment, we can divide it into two: initial measurement and then subsequent measurement. Now, I need you to stay with me carefully here. So if you pick a standard like IAS 16, which is the grandpapa of standards, property, plant, and equipment, there are some accounting standards that you have to make reference to, whether I like it or not, when it comes to dealing with this standard. What are these what are these standards? Number one, IAS 37. Yes, provisions, contingent liabilities, contingent assets has something here. IAS 19, employee benefit. There is something here for you. You must understand. IAS 20, the way government grant is accounted for will influence the initial measurement of assets acquired when an entity receives a government grant. IAS 23, borrowing cost. When an entity borrows money to finance the acquisition, the construction, or the manufacturing of a qualifying asset, it influences the initial measurement of that asset. Are you following the picture? Then you come to IAS 21. Transactions denominated in the currency other than the functional currency of an entity shall be translated to the functional currency of the entity using the exchange rate at the transaction date. IAS 21. So you are in IAS 16, but a question can be structured in such a manner that you may have to call on various other accounting standards. And we're going to be going through this as we continue with the discussion throughout the 12 weeks. And in the practice question course, for instance, there are a lot of these scenarios there where in one question, you are looking at initial measurement of something, an asset, but you are referring to IAS 37, you are referring to IAS 23, you are referring to IAS 19. So in principle, you are answering a 5-mark question using 4 different accounting standards. Which then means that if you are not strong in the accounting standards, au revoir, mon ami, because you are going to then get it wrong. And these are some of the things we can talk about in respect of the initial measurement. Now, 2 other standards can even come up here, like IFRS 5, non-current asset held for sale and discontinued operation, and IAS 40, investment property. Because if we have a non-current asset held for sale, and it is translated into a PPE, what is the initial measurement? If we have an investment property, and the entity decides to now use it as an owner-occupied, what will be the initial measurement? So IFRS 15 and IAS 40 can also be called on to determine the initial measurement of a property, plant, and equipment. That is the beauty of the accounting standards. And if you understand it this way and know the relationship and the connections that exist between the accounting standards, you're going to be good. Then we come to the subsequent measurement. On subsequent measurement of property, plant, and equipment, there are some accounting standards that we can call on. What I mentioned a moment ago, IFRS 5 can come on subsequent measurement, IAS 40 can come. So an entity is using an asset for the day-to-day running of the organization. Then they say, oh, we now want to reclassify this asset and rent it out as an under operating lease. Okay, so we are moving from PPE into an investment property. How do you do that treatment? Subsequent measurement. Or the entity is using an asset, then all of a sudden the entity says they don't want to use the asset again, and it meets the recognition criteria as a non-current asset held for sale in accordance with IFRS 5. How do we treat it? On subsequent measurement. Then we're going to have IAS 12, income tax. Because on subsequent measurement of property, plant, and equipment, there is going to be deferred tax implications. How do you deal with that? So the entity revalue its assets, and we have a revaluation surplus or a revaluation gain. Okay, the deferred tax implication on the revaluation surplus and revaluation gain, how do we deal with it? IAS 12 is going to be coming to town for you on subsequent measurement. That is the thing there. And as you are learning all of these things, there is one accounting standard that you cannot forget, and that is IFRS 13, fair value measurement. This is a fundamental accounting standard you must understand, because the measurement basis, historical cost, value in use, fair value is going to be one of the methods used across board in various standards. So you must understand fair value measurement, this accounting standard, IFRS 13, to know the guiding principle on how we determine the fair value of assets, liabilities, and other transactions. So this is what we have. So you see that just IAS 16 alone as an accounting standard, how many connected standards do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Including the PPE itself, 7. Now, there are others that I could have brought up, but just want to make it simple for you. So you have 8 accounting standards, give and take, that are all related with each other. The reason why that mindset is important is because you will not feel overwhelmed. You will not feel that, oh, I am learning IAS 37. I have to throw it away. Then I have to come and learn IAS 23 and throw it away. No. If you are learning and you know that, oh, this standard is going to be applicable in another standard, it's connected with another standard, then you just transfer the knowledge, and that increases your attention level and your love also for the accounting standards. So yes, there are a lot of accounting standards, but this is the trick. You must understand how the accounting standards are connected with each other. Now, once you get your 8 here, you are getting your 3 for the other connected standards. 16, IFRS 16 leases, IFRS 15, revenue from contract with customers, IAS 32, financial instrument, and those things. These are the things you must understand. And if you can understand the accounting standards like this, and study them like this, by preparing summary notes and principal notes, listen, you will be in a better position to go into the exam hall, write the exam with confidence, and pass the examination. So it doesn't matter what you want to do, because you see, if you are strong in the accounting standards, console will be easy for you. That's it. Console will be easy. Because about 85-90% of the things you are going to be doing in consolidated financial statement are accounting standards related. The fair value measurement, That's an accounting standard that you are dealing with. The acquisition and the dealing of the fair value of consideration transferred, that's an accounting standard. Dealing with goodwill, impairment in goodwill, that is an accounting standard, IAS 36, IAS 38, intangible asset. So about 80-90% of the headache you will have in consolidation are all accounting standard related. Then we bring that 10% crystallization of consolidation specific, boom, you're going to be good. That's it. Single entity financial statement, question 3. That's accounting standard. The pro forma for the financial statement, you will know it's not a rocket science. The problem is, if you read the footnote, can you solve it? And the way you are able to solve the footnote is by the application of the accounting standards. Evaluation of financial statement, that's not a rocket science. You can calculate the ratios. Guiding principles are available for the interpretation. But if the examiner puts you in a position where you must calculate the ratio, you must readjust the financial statement, calculate the ratios, and interpret the ratios, then your accounting standards will come to town. Then under the theories in question 5, the examiner can bring between 3 to 5 marks theory questions on the accounting standards. So your password, your trump card, your secret to pass financial reporting, and by extension corporate reporting a little bit, is the understanding of the accounting standards. And the strategy is simply what I have told you. Don't see them as a tall list of standards. Hey, Rade, when can I finish this standard? No. See them as connected with each other. Once you see them like that, you're going to fall in love with it, and then you're going to love going through it like that. So once you use the key summary videos in the mobile application to understand the standards, then you go to the practice question courses, you get the videos and the questions there to practice as many questions as possible. And the more you do that, the more you are crystallizing the principles, working with speed and accuracy, and boom, you'll be in a better position to go into the exam hall, write the exam with confidence, and pass the examination. That's what you must understand. And that is what you must know about in respect of financial reporting. So that's what I would say. You want to pass financial reporting, be strong in the accounting standards, because 70 to 80% of the things that you are going to be doing in the exam hall for financial reporting will be based on the standards. So if you can understand the standards, which I'm going to be doing for you, yes, we have great content already available in the mobile application under the summary videos. But during the live lectures, we're going to also crystallize it, solidify it, make it succulent, make it presentable, solve questions. We're going to go through it. But you got to first fall in love with it, understand that it's not a tall list of things, but know that this is the pillar that holds financial reporting. And if you can get it that way, you can pass the financial reporting examination with ease. That is what we must understand when it comes to financial reporting as well. Any questions? Any questions for me? Can put it in the chat for me. I'm seeing some chats coming up. Let's see if I can look at them real quick. Seeing some chats coming up, some comments coming up. If you have any questions for me, or you have a follow-up on something, please don't hesitate. You can throw it in the chat for me, and I will be able to answer it for you. I'm seeing a comment coming. Samuel Quasin. Hey, Samuel. I hope you're doing well. Solid discussion by all standards. Thank you, Samuel. I remember when we were writing the papers, the strategy is to connect the standards. That is all. You are good to go. I am always one came your way some years ago. Okay, that's very true. Once you're able to connect the standards with what you are reading, you're going to be good in that particular case. What else do I have? Give me a moment. Let's see. That was YouTube, right? Yep. So let's see. Do I have anything on TikTok and on X? Let's see if we have anything on TikTok or X that I have to look at. Okay. So let's go to management accounting. So we've done financial reporting, we've done public sector. Let's go to management accounting. But certainly we'll take a short breather, then we'll come back and continue. Okay, let's go. Welcome back to the stream as we continue with our discussion for the March 2026 examination. If you have any questions, please put it in the comment section or the chat for me. Remember that our live lectures for the March 2026 is ongoing. We started lectures just yesterday, so you're not too late to join. You can register, send us a message on WhatsApp, and you'll be able to register to join our lectures for the March 2026 examination. So let me bring back my screen and let's go to the next discussion, and that is management accounting. So when it comes to management accounting too, what are we supposed to know about? So management accounting. What are we supposed to know about? As always, we will have 5 questions again on management accounting that we need to be mindful of. Okay? The question 1 is going to be on performance measurement. Generally there. Question 2, depending on how excited the examiner is, it may be a budget, models of evaluation, or some other theory areas. Question 3 may be on variance because the examiner has been doing some quani work on, and I'm saying that on a lighter note, on the structuring, like the arrangement of the question. So we'll not have a fixed place sometimes coming in. Then you come to question 4, which is going to be the public sector issue. The role of the management accounting in the public sector. That's 15 marks in the exam hall for us. Then question 5 is going to be on short-term decisions. Short-term decisions. So when it comes to management accounting also, these are the things we must understand when we talk about management accounting. Okay. So the question we have to ask ourselves is, what are the key issues? What are the thematic areas that we need to be mindful of to put us in that position so we can pass the management accounting examination? So key topics we must focus on to pass management accounting. Again, you may not find some of these or all of these things in the syllabus, but they are crucial for you to pass the management accounting examination. And so as a management accounting student, what is going to hold you to understand management accounting is what we want to go through. The first thing is cost classification. This is a crucial topic that you must understand because this is going to set the tone for you to understand the cost sheet, the cost card, element of cost, and all of those things. Cost behavior, knowing fixed cost, variable cost, semi-fixed, semi-variable, step cost, all of those things are covered under cost classification. As a management accounting student, you must know that very well. Then number 2 will be accounting for overheads. Very crucial. So overhead analysis sheet and then accounting for overhead using absorption costing and marginal costing. You must know that very well. Number 3, we can talk about costing techniques. Now, we have costing methods, which you are supposed to know about, like job costing, batch costing, process costing. Those are costing methods. You are supposed to know them as you are in management accounting level 2 because they are in introduction to management accounting level 1. So the costing methods, job costing, batch costing, process costing, those things, you must know them. But the costing techniques are also crucial for us. And this is where we are talking about marginal costing, absorption costing, and then activity-based costing. These are very important issues. Why? Because your understanding of marginal costing is going to help you in question 5, which is going to be short-term decisions. So even if we don't have a dedicated question on marginal costing, the understanding, your knowledge of the marginal costing will be applicable, will be called on in the question 5 area, short-term decision. So whatever short-term decision that we are working with, whether we are dealing with limiting factor analysis or make or buy, or you are dealing with shutdown, okay, break-even analysis or cost volume profit analysis, all right, you are going to be calling on the short-term, on the marginal costing principle. So all the short-term decisions, you will call on the marginal costing principle. Not only that, when it comes to variance analysis, the marginal costing principle and absorption costing principle will be coming up, because the way we deal with overhead variances and the sales volume variance would depend on whether the entity is using absorption costing or marginal costing. So your understanding of these fundamental things here will help you also in variance analysis. Then we go to the issue about performance measurement, especially when we are dealing with transfer pricing. Okay, the concept of divisionalization. When you're dealing with divisionalization, you will be calling on the marginal costing principle. And you should be able to understand the marginal costing principle very well. Why? Because that is important. That is important. Because if we are determining the transfer price, we have to look at the marginal cost. Sometimes we can be asked to calculate the transfer price using the activity-based costing principle. Okay? So it depends on the context of the question. So before you get into the big pictures, like, hey, short-term decisions, variance analysis, budgeting, transfer pricing, before you get into those bigger pictures, your foundation must be strong. Because when you're learning all of these, you are going to be looking at the issue in respect of something called the high and low method. It's an approach that is used to separate semi-variable, semi-fixed costs into 8 various or 8 individual components. So how do you separate semi-fixed, semi-variable costs into fixed costs and variable costs? You must use the high and low method. You may be called on to apply the high and low method in budgeting. You may be called on to apply the high and low method in variance analysis. You may be called to apply the high and low method in the investment appraisal in the public sector issue, the question 4 area. So, as a management accounting student, before we come to the big pictures, short-term decisions, budgeting, relevant costing, performance measurement, the role of the management accountant or management accounting in the public sector, these things you must know them offhand. Because if your foundation is weak on the marginal costing principle, absorption costing principle, activity-based costing principle, high and low method, understanding overheads, understanding cost behavior, then everything in management accounting will be ghosted. Because you are going to be applying these fundamentals when you are dealing with the bigger pictures generally in that regard. And that is what you must understand when we talk about how you can pass the management accounting examination. So that's the first thing, those 3 key topics. The second thing that you have to be mindful of in management accounting is English language. It's quite strange that I'm saying it's one of the crucial things you must be mindful of. English language. So I jokingly say, you can't pass management accounting, which translates that if your English is not good, you're going to be struggling with management accounting a lot. Now, the English here is not just your English. right? The English that you know, the something that you speak. Yeah, it goes beyond that. Especially when it comes to the short-term decisions environment. You go to budgeting, you go to variance. If you don't read the English well, you would digress totally. If you don't read the English well, you will digress totally, 100%. That's the thing you must understand. So when I say your English here, I am just talking about having a comprehensive understanding of management accounting concepts and principles. That's what I'm talking about. Having a comprehensive understanding of management concept, management accounting concept and principles. That's very important. So don't come into management accounting just like that. No. You must be attentive, making sure that you are understanding, because if you read something and you misinterpret it, you are in trouble. So for instance, you read something and they say, oh, a company pays overtime premium. Okay, overtime premium at time and a half. Just a simple language, okay? Time and a half. Okay, so this is how the entity pays overtime premium. Time and a half. What does that mean? It simply means that the overtime hours plus half of the overtime hours multiplied by the labor rate. That is what time and a half means. So if people work overtime for 40 hours and we have to pay them and the rate is maybe $10 per hour, and the policy and the policy of the organization is, oh, overtime premium is paid at time and a half. It means that it will be 40 plus half of 40, making what? 60 hours. Times the rate of $10. 60 by 10 will give us what? $600. That is my overtime premium. If it says time and a third, it means 40, 1/3 of 40. Time and a quarter, it means 40 plus 1/4 of 40. Those are this is what I mean by comprehensive understanding of management accounting concepts and principles. This is the English part. Now, this is just a freestyler, right? When you get to short-term decisions, there are other nuances there. Like, for instance, that you will read something and they will say that, oh, an entity is undertaking a project and they need a material, maybe 20,000 kilograms of material. It's already in stock, but it is in constant use. Okay. So stay with me. This is a special order. We need 20,000 kilograms of the material. The material is in stock, but we are told that it is in constant use. So what is the relevant cost of the 20,000 kilograms of material for this order? The relevant cost is the replacement cost. Are you getting it? So the replacement cost becomes the relevant cost. Why? Because it is in constant use, it means when we use that 20,000, which is already in stock now, the material is in constant use. So what do we have to do? We must buy it and replace it. Those are the nuances. It is management accounting, but it is English grammar. So if you're not somebody who is okay with having a comprehensive understanding of the management accounting concept and principles, you're going to butcher it. So somebody is going to read this, 20,000 kilograms in stock, but it's in constant use. And funny enough, in the question, the examiner will tell you that, oh, This was bought maybe 2 months ago at $10 per kilogram. And if the entity is buying it now, it is at $12 per kilogram. Someone with weak understanding of the management accounting concept surrounding relevant costing will just say, oh, the 20,000 was bought at 10 per kilogram. So you do 20,000 by 10. That is where you will do yourself au revoir mon ami, because it is wrong. Why is it wrong? Because they said, yes, this 20,000 it is in stock. It has been bought some time ago. The money we spent to buy it some time ago is not a relevant cost, because sunk cost is not a relevant cost. So how much we paid for this inventory in the past, it's not necessary. The historical cost, we don't care about it. But here is the kicker. Because this material is in constant use, it means when you use it, you must replace it. So it means the relevant cost will be the 12, the replacement cost. So as a management accounting student, in addition to dealing with these key topical issues here, cost classification, accounting for overheads, understanding the costing techniques, it is important you understand English language. Not the English language you speak, but understanding the management accounting concepts and principles. Because if you don't get the management accounting concept and principles, the English that we use in management accounting, you will read something and reach a wrong conclusion and then go and bump in the exam hall. So for management accounting also, these are the things you must understand. If you want to pass management accounting, be strong, understand cost classification, understand accounting for overheads, understand marginal costing, absorption costing, activity-based costing. Then as you are learning, make sure you really understand the fundamental principles underlining management accounting concepts. And that is why I always say that whatever you are learning, have a dedicated notebook or a notepad where you are going to be writing the principles down. So each topic you pick, each principle you pick, or each area you pick, you are writing the principles down. Because you see, all you are doing in the exam hall is application of principles. That's all you are doing in the exam hall. That's all you are doing in the exam hall. Application of principles. That's all. That's all. So it's not just about what you are learning. It is not just about the questions you are solving. It is about, do you understand it? Can you work with speed and accuracy? And the reason why everything I'm talking about is important is that that you will now understand that I can't do this thing in 1 week. So if you sit down, the whole 12 weeks, lectures have started. You don't attend lectures. You are not learning. You are not doing anything. Then, February 14th, after Valentine's Day, you take a leave from work. Or February 25th, 1 week to the exam, you take leave. And you think that you can use that 1 week, 3 days to learn management accounting and go into the exam hall. I can guarantee you, it won't be well with you for the management accounting, because it doesn't happen like that. And it's cut across all of the other subjects. You must be consistent. Listen, you cannot sit down, you are not learning throughout 12 weeks and think you can attend a 6-hour class, a 12-hour class somewhere and go and pass the examination. It's not going to happen. You can't sit down and not be learning and just think a 6-hour class, a 12-hour class will magically help you to understand all these things. It's not possible. So all I am trying to tell you is this. Get the breakdown. Get the understanding that we are putting across. Get the fundamental issues that we are discussing. Once you get these fundamental issues, now you're going to spread your studies, your learning over the 12 weeks. And you're going to discipline yourself. Go through the syllabus the way it has been discussed. Understand the basic issues that we have spoken about. And if you can put yourself in the position in this manner, you can go into the exam hall, write the exam with confidence, and pass the examination. So these are the things you must understand. And I think we have covered public sector, management accounting, and financial reporting. In another session, possibly tomorrow, we are going to be looking at the other subjects, principles of taxation, financial management. Then we go to the level 3 papers and look at the fundamental issues you must understand. Once you get these fundamental issues right, the bigger pictures will be okay for you. And that is what you must understand here. Any questions, any other questions for me? Again, remember that our live lectures has started, okay? And we started lectures just yesterday for the March 2026 examination. So if you have not registered yet and you want to be part of our mentorship program, get access to our content, join our live lectures, study under my mentorship with a team here, you can visit our website or send us a message on WhatsApp. You can see the number on your screen, 050-114-9296. And let's help you so that you can really prepare well for the examination and pass the exam. I'm seeing some comments coming up. Let's see if I can bring some of the comments here. I don't know. Augustine, okay. Great lecturer. God bless you. I'm a CA because of your mentorship. God bless you too, Augustine. I hope you are doing well. One of our alumni as well. I hope you're doing well and chilling, enjoying life after CA so that you can focus on other aspects of life, right? There is more to life than CA. Some people's life have been turned into a little hostile environment because of CA, right? But it's not supposed to be like that. So that's it about that. I'm going to wrap up around here today. Thank you for joining us, sharing the video. We've seen some of you sharing the video, the thumbs up, the likes. Really, thank you very much. Appreciate that. Stay connected, and I'll catch you in the next episode as we continue with our discussion. If it is possible, go through the discussion again in respect of the subject you are writing. Make sure you take note of the various things that we have spoken about, and put yourself in the position so that in March 2026, you can go into the exam hall with confidence and pass the examination. So enjoy the rest of your evening, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.